So this has been, I guess, a freewheeling, wide-ranging session for me today. If we could summarize it, how would we summarize what we've each learned from it?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. I can start this impossible process. Um, One of the things that's really loud for me today is the recognition of identities and how, meaning my own, how easy it is for me to, in response or sometimes just self-generated, meaning someone says something, I respond and become a different version of myself, an identity. And I can label them, and there's an endless stream of labels for all the identities, and how the recognition of that automatic process in myself has become really valuable, and my capacity to discriminate between identities that are effective or useless or irrelevant or destructive or really positive. Um, and sometimes maybe there isn't a judgment or an assessment of an identity, but just the recognition of that, and how beautiful that is in my life that I have that capacity. Um, and also today to sit in this impossible acknowledgement of magic, because as soon as I say the word magic, in the knowledge that this is a public statement, meaning anybody can see this, and as soon as the word magic comes to mind, there's all kinds of judgments and throw it out because it's magic, or embrace it because it's magic. Whatever those connotations might be, what I'm sitting in today is the magic of my life, is the impossible way that, like, I don't have words. Like, here's this language inadequate moment that what just happened between us, what the way that we found that non-physical connection in really meaningful and alive ways, certainly in my heart. And now I'm just struggling to make the language fit when it doesn't. So I'm just going to sit, if I may, for a moment or two, just to bring magic into play. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I often like to reflect, and I do for many hours and days later, I think. And yet, when we have these calls, I'm not in the middle of the call thinking about what my learning is, what my takeaway is. It usually just arrives in my lap. I think, oh, wow, yeah, of course. But I'm quite struck, having been the third one to share and to receive feedback, by being seen and heard and acknowledged. And yeah, I think my takeaway is receiving um, the reflections from each of you about who I am and how I am in the world, and allowing more of that to sit and to land and to embrace. Yeah. And there's many, many, many other ways that people do life. And mine's not better or worse or indifferent, it just is. And from some of the examples that I've seen recently about how people how it appears people live their lives. I've got some opportunities in this coming 12 months to do things a bit different and to have some time overseas with Joe and to feel allowed to do that without having judgment on myself, what that says about me to others. Mm. And how I can maintain my connections and the commitments I choose in a meaningful way. Mm. Thank you for today, brothers.
Boy, Jeremy, if I can refer to your language earlier, I value the non-physical connection that I have not only with this group, but with a lot of other people. And I intend to keep that connectedness forefront in my mind, regardless of whether I'm physically with the people or not. The connection is the connection, and it doesn't go away because I'm 5 hours drive away. And I want to just stay where the connectedness, even when it's not physically convenient or present. And also, I feel allowed to just be wrestling with identities that come up and what I do with them and how I reject them or deny them or blah, 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 blah. I feel allowed to be okay and treading water in that. And I have permission not to feel bad about that or to feel I should be farther along in that because it's pretty clear it's just going to keep coming. And so I'm okay treading water in that now. So I feel allowed. I feel relaxed. Thank you. Oh.